Yeah, sunny days, no clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today.
Hello you guys, it's Charlotte. Welcome back to the vlog. Today we have a highly requested video. This is going to be my Notion tour slash how I organize my entire life using Notion. I absolutely adore using Notion. I've been using it for about a year at this point to organize my entire life, and I can't wait to give you guys an updated version of my Notion tour. I did one of these last year and I am so excited to do this one and see what's changed and what's new and what's different. One big difference though is that this video is sponsored by Notion. I am so excited to be partnering with them to bring this video to you guys. I don't think I need to explain to you guys how much I already love Notion, so the fact that I get to work with them is just so incredible. So a huge shout out and thank you to Notion for sponsoring this video. I can't wait to partner with them and tell you guys a little more about what Notion has to offer. So if you guys have never heard of Notion, that means you're probably new here because I talk about it all the time. So if you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Charlotte. I'm a lifestyle and productivity vlogger here on YouTube. I just graduated from the University of Michigan about a month ago, and I use Notion to get me through my senior year of college. I genuinely don't think I would have made it through senior year if I didn't have Notion to get me through. So if you guys have never heard of Notion, it's basically like an all-in-one productivity, creativity, and collaboration software. It's kind of like a journal mixed with a Pinterest board, mixed with a life planner, mixed with a calendar and a finance tracker, and basically anything that you can imagine. There's basically an infinite number of things that you can use Notion for, so I can't wait to show you guys my Notion setup and fully do a deep dive into how I organize my life with Notion. So let's jump over here to my computer and I will show you guys all of the pages that I have on my Notion, and we will jump right in. So here we are in my Notion. This is my little dashboard, like my home page. This is the page that I probably use the most. It's kind of like my landing page, like I mentioned, my home page. If you watch any of my monthly reset vlogs, you are quite familiar with this page. This is the one that I update the most frequently. I change the icon, I change the banner, and I change all the photos throughout to kind of match with each month of the year. I also want to say before we get too far into this video that I will link the template for all of these pages down below if you're interested in downloading it. It is free. That's another thing I really love about Notion is you can make all of your pages from scratch by yourself however you want to, or if there's a template you like, you can download them. Some people, like I offer mine as a free download, but other people sell them like on Etsy. I know has lots and lots of Notion template options. So you can just get a Notion template and fill it in, kind of like drag and drop your stuff in, and that makes it super easy to get started. So again, if you guys like the template that I use, I will link it down in the description for you. You're more than welcome to check it out, do whatever you want with it, make it your own. And don't forget, if you guys want to use this template, but you've never used Notion before, you can use the link in the description to download Notion completely free. So obviously it is June right now, so I have my June banner up at the top with all of these cute little pictures that I found on Pinterest to kind of match my vibe for June. And then for my little icon, I have the basket emoji. That's one of the really fun things that I love about Notion is that all of this stuff, my banner, my icon, is all customizable. Like you can change it as often as you want to. You can change it to whatever you want. I make my banners in Canva and then I just upload them to Notion every month when I want to change them. But it is super simple and easy to change. So to change it, like with the icon, for example, you basically just click on it and then select any emoji that you want to and change it to whatever you want. That really gets back to how easy Notion is to customize, which I absolutely love because it really makes it feel like my page and I can make it exactly how I want. So if we scroll down a little bit here, you kind of get into like the bulk of the page. This is the part that I update the most with my monthly reset vlogs. I have it split into 3 little columns. On the left-hand column, we have this little quote that just says, "Keep going." And then beneath it, I have a picture of the beach, which I love. Right next to it, we have a list of my daily habits that I try to track, and because I felt like June was a blue month, they all have blue emojis next to them as their little like bullet points. And then next to that, we have all of the pages on my Notion. These are also over in this little side column on the left of the page, but I like to have them linked on my homepage as well. So we will go through all of these pages in just a minute once we are done going through my homepage. Beneath those pages, we have another little picture. This is of like a little picnic, like beach sort of setup, just like blue and very very June vibey for me. Next to that, we've got another picture of a girl reading on the beach. Clearly I'm going for like a reading and beach style June. And then next to that, we have my June personal goals. If you guys are interested in hearing more about the goals that I set for June, you can head over to my June reset vlog. That is where I kind of like detail all of the goals that I set for myself for each month. But this is the section where I update it monthly, and it's super easy in Notion to just go in and change whatever you want. So like say I wanted to change apply to 5 jobs to apply to 10 jobs. It's as easy as just going in and typing. So this is the part that I would say feels the most like a Pinterest board to me, just because of all the photos and like the banner up at the top. It just feels like so aesthetic and it's so calming, and I just love it so much. But then underneath that column, we have my weekly planner. You guys know I am big on lists. I am big on plans. I am big on like having a checklist, a to-do list, all of that kind of stuff. So that is where I keep all of these things. I have each day of the week in these little drop-down tabs. So like today, for example, for me is Friday. So if we just click on this little arrow, you get my to-do list for Friday that pops out. And like I already did my hot girl walk and Pilates. I already showered for the day, and I'm currently filming my Notion tour. And you guys can see how easy it is to go in and check some stuff off, feel good about the things I already accomplished for the day. And then once I'm done, just so it doesn't take up too much space, I can just toggle it right back to just the title of the day. And then below that, the last thing that I have on this page is what I call my big girl wish list. So if you guys have been around on the channel for a while, you know that I kind of refer to life after college as my big girl life. And the things on this list are some of the things that I hope to incorporate into my big girl life, like a cordless vacuum or like some nice rain boots, just kind of like random little things that I envision for myself at some point in my big girl life. Such a random little list, but again, like this is my Notion. I can do whatever I want with it. So I can have this like fun little random list at the bottom of my homepage, and it works out perfectly for me. So that is it for the homepage. Now we will go through the rest of the pages as well, and then come back and grab the template once you've got your Notion account all set up. Okay, so now that we're done with the homepage, let's move on. We'll just do my pages in order. I have them, of course, listed over here on the side, but they are also listed on this sidebar, which you can collapse. Let's just go in order. Let's do my content planner first. I actually just revolutionized my content planner here on Notion, so I'm really proud of it and I'm really excited to show it to you guys. But for me, what I did was every page has its own kind of theme and identity. So my content planner kind of goes with my branding. I love like pinks and yellows and just like bright, happy colors on my YouTube channel. So I went with this fun pink banner, and then obviously a camera as my little emoji icon. I've got my title up the top that says content planner, and then right below here I have a quote. This is the same quote that I had up on my whiteboard in both of my apartment bedrooms in Michigan. It says, "And remember, big things happen not all at once, but one step at a time." I'm big on just like little quotes and like inspirational pieces of like nuggets of information, just to remind myself like, take it easy, go slow, everything doesn't have to happen all at once. Okay, and then below that is arguably my favorite part. So this is where Notion gets really fun, in my humble opinion. This is where you get into what are called databases. And a database is exactly like how it sounds. It's just like a lot of information, a lot of data, and you can kind of organize it however you want. So the way I've done it with my content planner is I've put in all the information and then I've organized it, I think like 6 different ways. So there's a bunch of different views here for my content planner. Obviously, I am a full-time content creator, so I need a page like this. If you're more of just like a casual Notion user, or you're not a full-time content creator, then maybe this is not a page that you need. But again, that's the beauty of Notion, is you can do as much or as little as you want to. So for the content planner, obviously we have the calendar view, which has each day of the week and what video is going up on that day, if any. Over here is what's called the board. This is basically just another way to view the same information. So I have this split up into 4 columns. This is how I organize kind of like my videos and my video ideas. If we come over to the next view, we have the exact same thing, just in a table form. This view, the one that I just showed you guys, and the calendar, it's all the same information. You're just viewing it in different ways, which I think is really cool. Then we'll just go through this quickly, but I have the exact same thing for my TikTok and Instagram. I have the board, and I have the table version, and then they also appear on the calendar, but I just have them switched off right now because I still need to update my Instagram and TikTok ones. So that is the content planner. It's a little bit involved, but I really like it. It really works for me. Like I said, I just updated this, so it's like chef's kiss in my humble opinion. Okay, next we're moving on to the password bank. I'm actually using the template version of this page to show you guys, just so I don't accidentally show any of my passwords. This one is very self-explanatory. I've got my little key as my emoji icon and then this brown kind of like neutral colored banner. Then I have it split up into 3 different sections. So I have like general passwords, passwords that have to do with finances, and then passwords that have to do with your professional life. This one is fairly simple and super nice to just have it so I can copy and paste my passwords and autofill them into whatever websites I'm on. Next up is the finance tracker. This is another one of my favorite spreads that I have on Notion. Again, I am showing you guys the template version of this because I love you guys, we're very close, but I don't think we're close enough for me to show you all of my finances. So I'm just showing you the template version, but this is the exact same thing that I use. I just have mine filled in. Up here we have this super fun little like money and investment themed banner. I think it is so cute. And then obviously I have a stack of cash with the little wings on it as my little emoji icon. I think it's so cute and so fitting. Then down here right up first we have the balance calculator that has every month of the year. All you have to do is type in your starting balance at the beginning of each month, and Notion does some like magic wizardry calculations by the computer, and it basically autofills everything else in for you. So much work and so much time went into setting up this finance tracker to make it do those calculations. So if you were looking to have kind of like an auto calculator for your finances, I would recommend using the template that I have provided down the description rather than trying to do it yourself. It is possible to do yourself, it's just it took me a while. This balance calculator right here up at the top is corresponded to this matrix down at the bottom. So the way I have it set up, you have the master where it has all of your finances, but then you can also separate it by month. Right here we have income, below it we have expenses. You type them in as they happen. So let's say you had birthday money and it was $100, and you also had paycheck that was $50, right? You put those in as they happen, and you can also update like the status if it's, you know, in progress, or if it's being deposited, or if it already has been. I write the date that it was deposited into my account, any notes that I have, the month that it was made in, and then if you want to sort it by like having tags on each one, you can. Let's say we have our 2 pieces of income. You scroll back up to the top right here at January, and you can see you have your income listed right here automatically as $150. So let's say your starting balance was $100. That means if you had 0 expenses, your ending balance, it calculates it for you, would be $250. I just think that's so cool. If we scroll down, we do our expenses. Let's say you had a dinner with friends and it was $25. You put that in. You scroll back up to the top, it automatically loads in your expenses and it subtracts that $25 from your ending balance, and you end up with $225. Again, maybe I'm geeking out about this. It's simple math and simple like coding and calculations, but I think it's really cool. So this finance tracker saves my life. This is how I budget all of my money. This is how I basically make sure that I'm not spending too much. And then here next to the balance calculator, I just have this little picture that says women who invest in themselves go further. It's a little money pun for you. But that is it for the finance tracker. Let's move on to my job applications page. This is like a little bit on the newer side, but I absolutely love this page. I love all my pages. They're just, I love them. So up at the top, we have this super fun, like corporate girly vibe sort of banner. And then we have this little working gal who suspiciously looks like me. Wonder if I did that on purpose. Then right up at the top, I have this little affirmation. I tend to get like wicked bad imposter syndrome. So I have this little affirmation that kind of just keeps me grounded, keeps me on track, reminds me that I am capable of any job that I apply for, and that I can do it. I can do anything I set my mind to, basically, is what that's affirming for me. Down here, I have links to all of my important documents that I might need to apply for a job. So my resume, my cover letter template, a link to my portfolio, a writing sample if any jobs need one, and a link to my media kit, which is honestly more for YouTube and content creation related jobs, but it still goes. Below that, we have another little 3-column setup. This has a list of my dream jobs, some cutie little like corporate girly pictures, and then over here I have a list of my skills. Below that, I have another database with different jobs that I've applied for, but I'm going to blur that out just so I'm not, I don't know, giving away too much personal information. And then below that, I have this list of negotiables, non-negotiables, and red flags to kind of be aware of while I'm applying for jobs and looking for my big girl job. These things were so important for me to keep in mind as I'm applying for jobs, especially that red flags column. If you're also job hunting right now, feel free to screenshot anything that you feel like you should avoid. But I just have this on here just, again, to kind of keep in mind when I'm applying for jobs, what I'm looking for, what I'm flexible on, what I'm not, and what I really should avoid. So that is the little job applications page. Super cute. Okay, the next page we are going to look at is my apartment hunting page. We're just gonna go through this one quickly. I feel like you guys are kind of getting the gist at this point, but we've got super cute pictures of what I would hope for my apartment to look like up the top as part of my banner. Got this little home as my icon. Very similar to the job search page, I have locations that I'm looking in. This one hasn't been updated super recently. This was from when I was looking like specifically in Washington, DC. I'm expanding my search at this point, so these were just some ideas that I had of places in Washington, DC. But very similar to my job search, I have my negotiables and my non-negotiables, like things I'm willing to be flexible on and things that I'm really not willing to be flexible on, like being in a safe area or being within my budget. And then down below, I have another database. There's nothing in here right now because I don't want to look for apartments in just random places before I have a job. Like, I don't want to get my heart set on a place that I potentially might not be able to afford or potentially like wouldn't even be living in that city. But when I do start finding places, I will fill this in. So you have like the name of the property, the city that it's in, the neighborhood that it's in, what the rent would be, how many beds, how many baths, the square footage, and a link to where it's listed. I seriously love the Notion databases. They're so fun. Something else that's really awesome about Notion is that it's collaborative. So I personally just use Notion individually, but say you had a roommate and you guys were both looking for a place together, you guys could collaborate on this page, for example, and work together to add all of your listings or like work together to kind of decide like what your negotiables and your non-negotiables are. So it's super flexible. It's something you can do by yourself or with friends or like with a team if you're doing it for work. Like, it's very flexible that way. It's another thing I love about Notion. All right, so that's it for the apartment hunting page. Let's move to my recipe book. I love this page. Honestly, what page do I not love at this point? We'll go through this one quickly. I won't go through like every recipe, don't worry. But up at the top, we just have some delicious looking food in the banner. And then this little salad was my favorite food emoji for whatever reason at the time. I think it was because of all the green in it. I love having greenery on my page. But surprise, surprise, this is another database. This is where I have all of the recipes that I know that I feel comfortable making listed out here. I have them organized here in this little table, but then I also have them organized by time of day. So we've got like breakfast recipes, lunch recipes, dinner recipes, and snack recipes. And then down at the bottom of this page is actually where I keep my grocery list. And this is great because Notion actually has a mobile app that you can get on your phone, which is what I use when I'm in the grocery store. I'm just scrolling through my little Notion, making sure I have everything. So I have them organized by like type of food group, and then they all expand down. So like produce, let's say we want veggies. Can see what veggies I like to get, what fruit I like to get, and I have them all as a checklist so you can check them off. Again, Notion is super personalizable. You can make it however you want, like to suit your needs. It's very much chef's kiss. Okay, and then finally, the last page that I have currently in my Notion is my spring semester tab. I don't actually use this page anymore because my semester is over. I graduated college, but I'm leaving it on the template for you guys because it saved my butt so many times during school. This is one of my favorite pages of all time. It is so worth it. It's so helpful. Got all of my school related like homework inspiration pictures as my banner, and then because I graduated, I used the little graduation cap as my icon. Up first, we have my weekly schedule. This was just to kind of keep me in check. I had the time and then the class that I had at the corresponding time for Monday through Friday. And then down at the bottom you guessed it, another database. This is easily the biggest database I have on here because I have every single assignment that I had for every single class listed in this database. So up here I have the master list, which has all of my classes, and then I also had it broken down by each class. So if I just wanted to focus on assignments for one class, I could filter it by that class. And this page I actually made from scratch. Some of the other pages I used a template to make them, but this one I made from scratch and I'm really proud of it. But that is the last page, so we'll just head back to my home page and call it a day. That is how I use Notion to organize my life, stay organized, stay productive. This is seriously, I think, the best app I have ever used in my life. I love Notion so much. Another huge shout out and thank you to Notion for sponsoring this video. It was so cool to work with them. Obviously, I adore Notion. It's one of my favorite things, and I have used it before getting sponsored by them, and I will continue to use it afterwards. So it's something that I genuinely love, and I just think it's so cool that I get to work with them on top of genuinely loving their software. So if you guys are interested in getting started with Notion, don't forget there is a download link in my description. You can sign up for Notion completely free. And if you're interested in twinning on our little setups, there is a template for all of the pages that I showed you guys in this video also down in the description. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little Notion tour. It was so much fun to show you guys everything that I use Notion for. Clearly it's a lot. My entire life is on here. If you have any suggestions for pages you think I should add, let me know in the comments down below. I'm thinking of adding a book page. Y'all know I love my books. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it for me down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
So let us dance
Bye, guys.
this night away.